Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Board Draw. Today, we're going to be talking all things England. We're going to be looking back on the unfortunate game versus Denmark and turning our heads positively to the game against Slovenia.
I've got no positive feelings left, mate.
I'm full of positivity because it can't get worse.
I'm full of pollen. Shout out hay fever sufferers. But yeah, no positivity left for me, I don't think. After that Denmark game, we said in our preview with Jacob, shout out that video, check it out. We said we were expecting England, after the stinky showing against Serbia, to turn it around, put in a big performance to kind of show the doubters we are one of the favourites for this tournament.
Yeah, we were expecting them to sort of just let loose, be a bit creative, sort of, they've got over that first game nerves.
The Denmark game was probably the worst game I've watched at this tournament.
It was, by far the worst game to watch from a spectator standpoint, and one of the worst England performances I've watched.
Genuinely, I'll hit you with some stats. Now that every team has played 2 games, we're in the final group fixture of the tournament. England have created the second lowest XG at the tournament.
Who's created the lowest?
Scotland.
Yep.
So the British Isles are turning up and stinking up the gaff.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
So bad. 1.44 XG in 2 games.
What is criminal is that all this chat about England having the most complete, the most depth up top, the best players up top, the best front four, and it's like, but you've created what, 1.1?
So we've scored 2 goals this entire tournament with a 1.44 XG.
1.44.
Honking.
It's horrendous.
And so yeah, let's talk about the Denmark game, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with good. We started good again. In Serbia, we started off the first half good, and then the second half we were off the pace. Denmark started the game good, but it wasn't even until half time. It was until we scored, which was about the 17th.
Yeah, about the 18th minute, yeah.
Where Harry Kane scored a tap-in, and we'll talk about Harold Kane in a bit. But after that goal,
the same things happened.
The same things happened, kind of losing the press, losing the ability to play calmly, retreating as a team. Here's a little fun graphic of England's average position after we scored. Genuinely, no one even close to the halfway line.
You said we started well against them, but I don't think we started that well. I think immediately
in consideration to like how we played the rest of the game.
Fair enough. But yeah, the first thing you noticed was the pitch. The pitch was horrendous.
Yeah, the pitch was
But
bad.
you can only blame that so much.
Both teams are playing on the pitch.
Same pitch. Without sounding like Ty, we mustn't forget the pitch was bad.
Rain, yeah.
But yeah, the pitch was bad, which is fine. But these are professional football players, and it's not like the opposition are playing on a good half of the pitch. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any difference. We started, it was slow, it was lethargic, and what got worse throughout the game, we started off poorly. Our passes were loose. Yeah. They were all over the place. The power on the pass would be too short or too much. How many times did we pass the ball out of play? How many times did we hospital pass it to one of our teammates and then they were put into a dangerous position? Constantly, the whole game. And it started bad and it just deteriorated. Yeah. It's like they were just drained of energy. They looked fucked, and then so we score at 80th minute. That's 2 games in a row now. We scored early on, and it was good bit of work by Bukayo Saka. Even better bit of work by Kyle Walker. Absolutely bombing on. It was great because I think just after that it looked like he might be injured, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, good bit of work. He picks up on a loose touch or he just challenges the right back.
Yeah.
The left back.
Christensen doesn't see him coming. Yeah.
Burst the pace, gets past him, holds onto the ball for quite a while.
Fucked it, yeah.
Yeah, and then he's lucky that the interplay with Saka, and then Saka sort of does enough to put the defender off with Christensen as well to then
fall to Harry Kane.
Kane. And that's why he's in the team, because he gets into those positions.
But does he? Because we've watched both games together, and we've said actively throughout both games, where the hell is Harry Kane in terms of being our in-the-box presence?
Yeah.
Whenever we're up pressing the opponent's goals, we're looking out for Harry Kane. He's nowhere near the 6-yard box.
If you're a defender, you're a centre-back pair, you can be from San Marino, or you could be Arsenal's back line, and it doesn't matter, because Harry Kane is nowhere near you for the entire game. He's not making runs, he's not pulling you out of position. When England plays so narrow, and the opposition team just know to sit deep and sit narrow and congest the areas, what you need is your striker to be making them look over their shoulders, to me, making them think, how am I holding this line?
100%.
Because if he's not there, they don't need to worry about holding the line because no one's running in behind. They can run, they can hold any line they want. They can be as abstract as they want with that line. He's not there. He's not coming close, putting two defenders out of position to make space in behind either.
Yeah.
He's fucking nowhere to be found. He's occupying the same areas as Jude Bellingham, who then Phil Foden, who then came in and occupied those same areas. You had three players playing the same position.
100%. And Harry Kane's been getting away with murder this tournament and kind of not really being getting called out until the end of last game, where the English punditry team, Shearer and Lineker, came for him. Lineker in particular, I thought, was pretty much saying what you were saying. He either drops too deep, but doesn't do the dropping deep with enough kind of energy to like pull the defenders with him. He's just ambling about, as Lineker says. And then when he's not really stretching the line either, so he's not really doing anything. And Lineker was saying that he needs to do a lot better. His movement's minimal. He's a bit lethargic. And I'll put in the clip here.
In all honesty, I think Harry Kane needs to do a lot better. He's just drifting short, very kind of lethargically. He's plodding short. Right, I need a little bit more from you, Harry. I would have expected that if I'd have had that kind of performance.
But yeah, I don't know. Harry Kane...
It takes a lot as well for people like Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, who are quite positive. You know, they're neutral pundits.
Yeah.
For them to really come out and be quite scathing about not just Harry Kane and Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
When they say it's not good enough, they must mean it, because they will look for all the positives they can press, because at the end of the day, they're there with the BBC.
100%. Yeah.
You know?
So I think Harry Kane has been getting away with murder this tournament. Obviously, he scored a goal. That's what he's there to do. But I'd rather him genuinely like put himself about, create more, move defenders more, create opportunities for other people more, and not score a goal, than score one tap in the 6-yard box and then do nothing else.
Yeah, like you say, it's papering over cracks. He gets on the score sheet and everyone forgets. The issue is, Ollie Watkins came on, and within about 4 minutes, he was found with a through ball and created a goal scoring opportunity.
Mm-hmm. He stretches the line, which is what you got to do if you're playing against three at the back.
Especially when they're old, slow defenders. Anderson, Christensen, and
Vestergaard. None of them blessed with pace.
No, exactly. They're big. They're tall, but they don't want to be defending backwards. They want to play the game with everything ahead of them.
Harry Kane is ideal for them. Slow and just kind of a stick man in the middle. Ollie Watkins is their worst nightmare.
Yeah, 100%. And Harry Kane, I mean, at times we saw him defending on the edge of our own box, which is fine, like from a corner or something, because he's good with his head, he's big, he'll get involved.
Play alongside John Stones then and play Ollie Watkins up top.
But then there's no out ball up top, because Saka's not going to win a knockdown. Foden's not going to win a knockdown.
And Saka, like in that average position graphic I showed you, I'll put it up again now. Saka's the only one that's trying to be an out ball. And obviously Saka is really good at retaining possession high up the pitch. But that only works so many times. You can't just keep long balling it to Saka. Like, we're England, we're the favourites to win the tournament. Our only escape can't be a long ball to Saka and expecting him to hold up.
So, and we'll carry on with Harry Kane, because then after the game, he came out and he said, when questioned about England and about their lack of intensity, he said, we don't really know how to press. In other words.
And that's the captain.
You are a footballer. What is he, 29, 30 now?
Arguably the best striker in world football, some say.
Only matched by Mbappe for his goals this season. You're on about 450 grand a week in Germany, playing in the biggest team in Germany, in the Champions League. And you're telling me you don't know how to press? You're telling me that these players in the England squad don't know how to press? Of course they fucking do. Who the fuck are you lying to?
Yeah.
Who are you trying to protect? I know that you don't want to cause any ag. I know you want to just calm everyone down. But let's not be fucking stupid here and pretend that you're talking to absolute donuts.
You've got some of the most elite footballers on the planet.
Who watch you week in, week out. You've got footballers who are earning 500 grand a week, playing for the best teams in the world. You've got a Champions League winner. You've got Premier League winners in that team. You know, you've got players that have been in the Euros final. And you're telling me they don't know how to press? Of course they do. Just being told not to.
England have never been this bad under Southgate.
No.
So, at one point they did know how to press. At one point they did know how to put together a formation that allowed Harry Kane and Foden and Bellingham to play. What has gone... So, why are we worse now? Players are better. Players are older, more mature. Southgate's had more time in his job and we've got worse.
Yeah. You look at our last tournament performance, which was that 2-1 loss to France. We were so good in that game.
So good.
We lost to the
long ball from
the runners
Tchouaméni
up.
and then Harry Kane missed pen. We
should have won that game.
Yeah.
We should have won that game.
Yeah.
But it's got worse, and he has been tinkering. For me, coming after this game and coming after the first 2 games, there are 3 major issues.
Let's talk about them.
Issue number 1 is the most clear and obvious issue. It's the shoehorning of players into positions that they don't belong in.
Well, let's start with Trent then.
No, let's start with the 2 that I don't worry about as much. Trippier at left back. We have issues with left back. We could talk ad nauseum about the fact that he didn't bring Tyreek Mitchell, Ben Chilwell, Alfie Doughty.
Yeah, I don't even like Ben Chilwell or Alfie Doughty, but someone that is naturally left-footed is infinitely better than a slightly better player that can't use that foot.
To come out of the group stages and our left back's not even played a minute,
And he might not play this tournament.
And he might not even play in the knockout stages. What the fuck is the point?
Yeah.
Because you watched those 2 friendlies, against Bosnia and Iceland, and we had no width on the left-hand side. We had no left-footed players out there. And Phil Foden doesn't want to come in, go wide. He wants to come inside, which is fine. It's fair enough. It's how he plays for every team he plays for. You've made this decision, all right? And you will live and die by that.
You will.
Phil Foden out on left wing. Right, well, this is not really an experiment. He has played there, but we know he's not at his best there. He had, I think, 3 opportunities in that game against Denmark. He was probably our most exciting player, him and Saka.
Yeah.
And he was the only one really taking people on to do something. And all 3 of those times where he came into the middle of the pitch.
And yeah,
he was further to the right than he was to the left. And that's where he was most effective. So let's just fuck it off, I don't want Jude in the 10. I want Jude in the 8. Next to Rice, he brings that intensity to the midfield. What we've been lacking, we are lacking a leader in the middle of the pitch.
We are. I actually saw a tweet about this from a guy that I follow on Twitter called Gareth+1. Shout out him. He was saying, should Jude be the captain of England?
I think so. I think.
Is anyone looking at Harry Kane and going, I'm following him into battle? He is that guy. As a leader, I look at him and I think he's just weak.
I think he is lost on a football pitch sometimes. I genuinely think he loses where he is. But yeah, for me, Jude has got to be in the middle of that pitch because he is the spark. He brings the intensity, and he's one of the few people on this side who I think would actually give someone a bollocking.
Yeah.
There's not enough people. John Stones should have been there as the most experienced member of that back line, really, maybe apart from Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
Who should have been there and said, fucking Rice, get up the fucking pitch.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you sitting 2 feet in front of me?
Yeah.
Sit on the halfway line. Get up, everyone. But no one's saying it.
No one's got balls.
Jude has got to say it.
Everyone's too nice to each other.
Jude is better as well when he's looking up the pitch. When he's playing with his back to goal, I don't think he's as good. When he can find those line-breaking passes, which is what England have been missing, the vertical passes, the ability to take 2 or 3 players out of the game.
That's what Trent should have been doing.
That's where he's best.
Yeah.
He can do that. We've seen him do it before. He done it for 3 seasons when he was at Birmingham Dortmund. Yeah? He was fantastic. He's done it for England before. When Calvin Phillips, who we'll talk about in a minute, when he got dropped, and at the last time Jude was playing next to Rice, we played our best football.
100%.
Jude was so good going forward. He brings a spark, brings intensity, allows Phil in the middle. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Sick of him.
I feel sorry for him.
He's been hung out to dry by Gareth Southgate.
I feel so sorry for him.
This is not the level to be tried experiments. This isn't science class, mate.
There's too much going on in the middle of the pitch for him. He needs a time and space that being a right back allows.
He is, and I mean this with no disrespect, he is too slow mentally for a hectic midfield. He needs to be quicker with those pings.
He's not even too slow mentally.
Yeah,
it's just but his game is thinking 5 seconds ahead because that's where his ball lands after 5 seconds in the air. He's looking so far at the pitch, but in the middle you can't be thinking about that.
Nah,
you know. How often did you see Xavi and Iniesta pinging long balls?
You do see kind of. He's trying to be like that Steven Gerrard in the midfield, ping a diag, but
he's not got that about him.
Got that. He does, but he doesn't.
He's bad.
I don't know.
He's so bad defensively. Yeah. That it's even more amplified in the middle of the pitch.
He's
more
just
things
not
come down.
press resistant at all.
No.
Yeah.
Because no one can support you in the middle of the pitch because your backline's not going to step up.
Yeah.
To defend to help you because otherwise there'll be spacing behind. Your right back can't come and help you. The only time that you can get help is when you are the right back and your CDM comes to help you.
Yeah.
You are stuck there, mate.
That's when England were best. When Trent was playing where he should be and Jordan Henderson was in the team and Jordan Henderson would just do what he did for Liverpool, cover for Trent and let Trent do what he wanted.
100%.
Now we've lost that and we've lost Trent at right back. It's a mess.
So what did I say my 3 points? So my first point was shoehorning players into
Yeah,
positions.
Foden versus Bellingham kind of vibe.
So I've already spoke on it, but the second issue is
Trent.
Jude Bellingham.
Oh,
Jude Bellingham is the issue,
okay.
but he's also the answer
Right,
because he is best at 10 in the 10 role.
right. Yeah.
But for England, he's going to be better as the 8. Would you rather play with, I don't know, Wharton and Rice and Jude, or Rice, Jude and Foden?
And this is the $1 million question. I think Rice, Wharton, Jude.
I think Rice, Jude, Foden.
It's a tricky one. Let us know what three you'd prefer. I just don't think there's enough confidence in this team as a whole that we can play Rice as the solitary DM.
I think he had a bit of a stinker against.
He did.
And I think he looked flustered. Oh my God. But
He
yeah,
did.
he looked flustered.
But the game before that, he was man of the match. Probably. Him or Jude. But I'd say probably him.
Or Gay.
Gay's been really good, actually. Shout out Gay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Rice as the single 6. I don't mind it personally. I don't mind it because we've seen him do it time and time again. It's only really since his move to Arsenal in the last 6 months of that move.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Where he's moved to be more of an
People are
8.
coming for him.
But we don't have anyone like a Jorginho or a Partey. I don't think
No.
Adam Wharton is that.
No.
I don't think Kobe Minu is that as well.
I would have Wharton over Minu. I think Minu is still trying to figure out what he is as a player. Whereas I think Wharton knows he's a bit more of a defensive kind of transition player.
But he brings that ability that when Minu is progressive in terms of carrying the ball, Wharton's progressive in terms of passing.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate came out after the game and said, "We haven't found that replacement for Calvin Phillips. We miss Calvin Phillips." What the fuck are you on about?
Wallahi, he is so pants. Yes, he had a good tournament at the Euros
4 years or 3 years ago.
Yeah, in England. But no way your tactics are so heavily reliant
He didn't
on Calvin
even
Phillips.
feature
He didn't play in Qatar.
So what the fuck are you on about? And
we played better football in Qatar.
You said that you don't have a replacement for him, but you're playing a completely different system now. You're playing a completely different system.
And I feel like Wharton is very similar to Calvin Phillips. Maybe even better.
He's less bulldoggy.
Yeah, a bit more mobile, a bit more savvy on the ball.
Yeah.
But probably not as good spraying it
I
long.
think Conor Gallagher is more like Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, but play Conor Gallagher. I think that he probably will. We'll talk about our predicted 11s, but I think he probably will play Conor Gallagher.
The other thing that came out the other end of this was he made the substitutions, right? And the first line of subs were Eze, Bowen and Watkins.
No, I think the very first sub was Trent off for Gallagher.
Was it not Trent who played the through ball to Watkins?
No, it was Bellingham.
Oh, that was Bellingham, yeah.
And then it was a triple sub where he took off the whole front line.
So he started off by taking off Trent, which is fair enough.
It's fine. I think that signalled the end of the Trent in midfield kind of
experiment.
Debacle, yeah.
And which is fair enough. However, bringing Gallagher on does not solve your issue to progress the ball up the pitch.
No, Gallagher
he breaks up the play.
Yeah, Gallagher is, if you're getting dominated, Gallagher will win you the ball back. England shouldn't be getting dominated.
He brings pressure in the middle of the park. So he stops players like Hjulman, like Højbjerg, like Eriksson being able to take their time with their passes. He speeds the game up the middle of the pitch, which is fine. But watching that, and thinking, right, well, Saka's done nothing, Foden's done nothing, and Kane's done nothing. Let's sub them and just get Eze, Watkins and Bowen on is the completely wrong move. Because it wasn't like they were doing nothing. It's they couldn't do anything because we didn't have the ball. Every time we got the ball, we couldn't progress it up the pitch. So you've got to look back and you've got to think, right, who do I bring on who's going to allow us to get some more control of the game and progress the ball up the pitch?
Even be mental. Do 2 at the top and get an extra midfielder in there.
Get Tony up top.
Yeah, just do something else. Yeah, like you said, don't do a like for like in all 3 positions. And do nothing about the midfield.
And so we've got no width on the left, and I'm the biggest Eze fan you will ever meet. I love him to death. And him coming on, I thought, not only is he going to get absolutely dogged here because he's getting hung out to dry, you're just replacing Foden, who wants to come inside, with Eze, who wants to come inside. At least bring Anthony Gordon on.
Yeah.
Or go crazy, Bring Saka out to the left.
Yeah.
Tell him to hug the touchline. Put Bowen out on the right.
Yeah.
And then you have some width to you. But none of this goes on in his head, and I refuse to believe the man in charge of England has not even the scent of tactical nous going on.
It's so bad.
He's surrounded by people who must know what's going on. He must be able to look at the game and think, right, well, we can't get the ball at the pitch. That's the first step.
I'm not even sure he is, though. His fucking assistants are Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Steve Holland.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is it may be the worst manager I've ever seen at QPR.
So, it's just yes men and donuts in the England camp.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is such a wanker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, it's concerning.
It is very concerning.
Let's move on to maybe talk about...
A little bit about Slovenia, and then we'll talk about what we can change going into this final game to get some positive traction heading into the knockouts, if we make it there. Because a win for Slovenia in this game, they actually could top the group. They need the Serbia-Denmark game to go their way, but they could actually top the group.
If that game's a draw...
or a Serbia winner, I think they still top the group. If they win and Serbia win, I think the top two and England finish third.
Undefeated.
Yeah. So that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Slovenia on 2-1-1 draws.
Fun. What are you on about?
It'd be funny. Turmoil in the camp. 2-1-1 draws for Slovenia. In the one against Denmark, they were 1-0 down for a while and then scored a late equaliser. And then the one against Serbia, they were 1-0 up and then conceded a late equaliser. So that, I don't know, mixed bag. But
that was 96th minute.
Yeah. I think what England will enjoy against Slovenia is not playing against five at the back again.
As well as not having technicians in the midfield. I mean, Serbia didn't have many technicians. They had like Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah.
They had Tadic who came on. But they had...
And a decent back line.
Brutality up top.
Yeah. And then Denmark had technicians.
Denmark had technicians all throughout.
Yeah. But Slovenia, apart from Oblak and Sesko in goal and up top, not many like proper technicians and just a bog standard 4-4-2, which I think if England can break down any formation, it's probably a bog standard 4-4-2 where they're not going to get dominated in the midfield. Harry Kane only has like one centre-back to come up against rather than three. So I do think this will probably be England's best chance at a dominant win. But it'd be interesting to see if Gareth Southgate makes some changes or sticks with
when
the
you're
boys.
up against a 4-4-2, the lines are more clear.
Yeah.
They know where the back line is. They know where the middle line is. The issue is the congestions again, and maybe this will be worse for England because they're going to come up against two sets of wingers.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think what Southgate is going to rotate is going to have a different team because it's been so bad.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So I think Trent isn't starting this game at all. I don't think he plays.
Do you think he's going to stick with the same back four? If we're trying to think what Gareth's going to do,
maybe the only change is if Trippier goes out and Joe Gomez goes in.
Yeah, I doubt that
Konsa.
Trippier. I think he's too scared to drop Trippier.
Yeah, maybe.
So I personally would
Probably just same back line.
I would drop Trippier and put Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
I think Joe Gomez is braver going forward.
Yeah.
Because we saw it yet again with Trippier. Every time he gets the ball further up the pitch, he just wants to come back and recycle.
Didn't really offer anything at all.
That is fine. That is fine to an extent because you want your better creative players on the ball. But when the opposition know that's all you're going to do, they just leave the space.
Yeah.
They don't need to worry about it. At least feint it. At least pretend that you're going to go that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I think I'd drop him. I don't think he's offered anything, and this is the weakest team in the group, in theory. Rotate, play a different system, play a different player. I think Joe Gomez or Erik Konsa.
But it is important that we top this group.
Oh, yeah.
Because the other side of the bracket have the two most dominant teams in the tournament, in Germany and Spain.
Yeah. In midfield, we've spoken a lot about how we think Conor Gallagher will come in. That was his first port of call when he ditched Trent. So I do think it probably will be Conor Gallagher.
We've seen him make a change in 2 games now.
Yeah. And I don't hate the idea of having Conor Gallagher in there.
I fucking do.
Yeah. Well, it's not sexy, is it?
I really think he stinks. All he does is bring legs.
He runs around, calls his fouls, gets yellow carded.
I mean, that's all he does. All he does is make the opposition speed up their play. It's not tactical. It doesn't bring us anything. You're not going to be able to get the ball up the pitch better.
Yeah.
He doesn't offer you anything really going forward.
Southgate's like overly reliant on these like unsexy players.
Yeah, and
we've got like some of the like most technical, exciting players in the world, and Southgate wants to build a team of Jordan Hendersons and Calvin Phillips and Conor Gallaghers.
It's important to have these players. It is important to have these players.
Yeah.
But the timing has to be correct. You can't just bring them on and hope they're going to fix something. The issues are obvious, and they've been underlined for ages. We saw it in all the build-up games. Even going back to the games against Brazil and Belgium, we saw our lack of ability to progress the ball at the pitch. Having Conor Gallagher in the side doesn't do that. Taking Trent out makes it even worse.
Yeah. So
if you have Conor Gallagher in there, you have to have Trent
You're
right
having
back.
Jude in there, aren't you?
I'm going to have Jude. But if you want Conor Gallagher in that team, you have to have Trent right back.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, your whole diagonal is gone.
Yeah.
You are having no one to switch that left-hand side.
Yeah. That is true.
So I'm going to go Rice and Jude. He's going to go Rice and Gallagher. You're going to go...
Rice and Wharton.
Yeah. I don't mind that either.
I just want to see Wharton, even for like 45 minutes, just give me a bit of Wharton ball.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he's so different to Gallagher and Mainu, and if you play Jude there.
Wharton and Jude as well. If you're going to play Jude in the 10...
Yeah.
I think Wharton and Jude is like such a good combination because Jude moves into those channels, which is where Wharton looks to play.
Yeah.
Kane doesn't do that. Foden doesn't really do that. Foden comes deep to get the ball and he'll look wide.
Yeah.
I think that would be such. And even if Kane, you've got Jude and Kane sitting in front of him, and they sort of split, then it leaves the space open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wharton's a really nice shout, but I think it's going to be Jude. I think he's going to go Rice and Gallagher.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jude and Rice. You're going to go Rice and Wharton.
So you're going Phil in front. I'm going Jude in front. We're both keeping Saka. Left hand side, what's going on?
Gordon.
So do I. I think. Will he stick with Foden there? Do you think?
I think no. I think things have to change. I think things really have to change.
Yeah, I tweeted this. I was like, no way Southgate can look at that both games, look at that left-hand side and make no changes at all on that left-hand side.
No, I completely
Especially
agree.
because you can't really ditch Trippier because there's no replacement there.
No.
Like, you could keep playing Phil there if Shaw came back.
Yeah.
You could make that switch to Shaw and that could probably
you
solve
have
the
the
whole thing.
overlap.
But if you can't make that switch to Shaw, Foden has to change.
No, I completely agree. I think he might ditch Phil. Even though Phil is...
Alhamdulillah.
Though Phil for me was...
And I like Phil.
I think he was our best creative player.
Yeah.
I think attacking, Saka. Because Saka was direct.
Yeah.
But Phil, when there was nothing on, he was making things happen for himself.
Yeah, you can see Phil wants... you can see Phil knows people are talking about him.
Yeah.
Because they should be. He won PFA Player of the Season in a team that won the league. He is arguably England's best product since Gaza, they say.
Yeah, he's amazing.
So you can see that he knows people are talking about him.
Yeah.
Whenever he has a stinker for England, it gets exacerbated. But if it's not working, it's not working.
If it's not working, it's not working. But for me, personally, you have to have him in the team. You wouldn't see France playing without Griezmann.
But can you keep just shoehorning your best players in the team if it doesn't work?
No. So this is where for me personally, I would change other areas around the pitch to make it work.
Yeah.
That's why I'm having Joe Gomez in at left back.
Jude coming
I'm having
deep.
Walker in the right back, although I'll maybe go for Trent.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm dropping Jude back.
Yeah.
And it works. We've seen I don't call him Philden. We've seen Phil Foden come deep for City as well. And sometimes they have Silva or Kevin De Bruyne. He plays a slightly deeper role.
Yeah.
Those two can interchange it. Defensively, it's not as secure. But
that's my worry. Yeah.
This is the issue, is that we have no progression, so we invite all the pressure.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it takes one loose pass, Rice passes back to Gay, hospital pass, and then suddenly they're in.
Yeah, that's true.
If you at least the pressure's on them, and their only outlet's a long ball, you're playing to our strengths. We've got Kyle Walker, mate.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't think he's gonna drop Jude back. I think he's gonna play the same back four. Potentially Gomez in. I think he's going to put Gallagher alongside Rice. He's going to have Jude in the 10. And then he's going to play Gordon out on the left. Saka and Kane will stay.
If the only moves are Gordon and Gallagher in, for Southgate, I don't think he's going to make wholesale changes, I don't hate that as a double move.
No, he's very...
Maybe Gallagher isn't inspiring, but Gordon in at least shows that he has realised the left-hand side is fucked.
But Gordon's right-footed anyway. But he plays
wide. He plays
the line,
yeah.
which is important. See, I would love to have Cole Palmer out wide there, but he wants to do the same thing that Phil Foden does. He wants to come inside. He wants to operate in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I don't even hate the Saka out there shout because he has done it.
You need someone to bring some width to that side to offer that to put that bit of danger to that far corner of the pitch, because at the minute nothing happens there.
We got to look back at Southgate though. How has he not taken someone like Jack Grealish, someone like
Marcus Rashford?
I know they've both not been great, but he must know. I don't know who the medical team is, but someone's got to have told him Luke Shaw might not be fit this tournament.
And
it's such a risky decision to ditch those players for him.
Even if you were told that, even if you were told that and you thought, right, well, we might get Luke Shaw fit for the knockouts, which is fine. He hasn't played.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're saying.
In over 4 months.
You can't expect him to come top level immediately.
You watch Harry Kane, who's been out for like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, and he looks
slow and luggage. Yeah. Like, imagine what Luke Shaw's going to be like. Yeah. He's not played a minute,
and he's not Roberto Carlos. No. Even when he was fit in Feb, he wasn't great.
No. He's not like going to be the instant solution. Yeah. The ridiculous thing is that Gareth Southgate knew this, and he didn't even think to have Tyrone Mitchell or Ben Chilwell in the extended squad.
Yeah,
in the extended squad. And I know left back's not our strongest position, but you play a fucking left back in left back. Yeah,
100%.
Even if it was Jared Branthwaite.
Yeah.
Ezri Konsa's been sat on the bench. Yeah,
and
I like Ezri Konsa.
Yeah.
But you should have brought a left foot centre back in for him.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, at the end of the day, you've done this to yourself. Now, because we all thought you had a fucking plan, and you clearly fucking don't.
And you got bloody Southgate sympathisers on the timeline saying, it's 4 points, we haven't lost a game. Use your bloody eyes, mate.
Do you know what? And
it's been dog shit.
I have no issue with people saying, we've got 4 points. We're still in charge of our own destiny. We'll finish top if we do what we need to do, which is fine, yeah?
That's fine. There is no falsehoods in that. That is all true.
That is all true. The thing I have an issue with is pretending that everything is all hunky-dory on the pitch. When you watch those fucking games and think that if we play against a Germany, a France, a fucking
Spain,
Romania, mate, we're going to get fucking turned over.
Yeah.
You will not be allowed all those pretenses that you get on the pitch at the minute in the group.
Yeah.
You're not going to allow it. All it takes is one. We have one bad performance in the knockout, you're out.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You wouldn't fucking see Spain. You wouldn't see even Italy. You wouldn't see Croatia. Even Belgium, who I know have not had the best tournament, but you wouldn't see them putting up those kind of performances.
I'll repeat from what we said at the start of the episode. Second lowest XG in the tournament. That is embarrassing.
Things have to change.
Like you're saying, Belgium, they haven't had a good tournament. They're not as bad as we are. Italy, so poor against Spain. Not as bad as we are.
But were they poor, or were Spain just really good?
Could be that. Portugal had a really bad first game, great second game against Turkey. The teams that we should be competing against, we're so much worse than.
Oh, 100%.
So much worse.
We've put up two of the worst performances in the tournament, and we're only getting by because we have quality of player.
Yeah.
And the most damning thing is that the players are coming out and saying they didn't know what to do. They're saying they're not intentionally dropping back, and they're saying that it's not instruction from the manager, but it must be from somewhere. It must be from somewhere, because
it just reeks of poor mentality, poor leadership.
You've got
frail
Carl Walker, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, Declan Rice. You've got Jude Bellingham. You've got Phil Foden. You've got Saka. You've got Kane, and you've got Trent. 90% of those players playing teams where they're on the ball and they're dominant. So how the fuck we're getting played around the park by Denmark is ridiculous.
Facts.
Unless they're just overly reliant on the other players in their team, which I don't think is the case.
No.
There is not a plan, and we've seen it happen before. Since we went from having that 3-5-2 that 3-at-back formation in Russia to having the 4-at-back formation in Qatar, to the 4-at-the-back formation in England for the Euros, we've seen sort of this development in play where we've gone from having we had Harry Maguire and John Stones as marauding centre-backs.
Yeah.
They would carry the ball up the pitch. Stones not done that once.
Is it all just a lack of Harry Maguire?
Is it? Or is it
Maguire and Shaw?
Is it a lack of leaders on that pitch? And
I think it was that.
Do you know what?
Lack of leaders on the pitch and a lack of leadership in your manager.
Maybe Jordan Henderson is sat at home laughing at us. And no way would I have taken him in my squad. but we
No.
are fucking lacking someone.
We're lacking someone that would give other players a bollocking.
And I think, like, how much influence can Harry Kane have on the rest of the team when he's at the top of the pitch?
If Harry Kane shouted at me saying, track back or press high, I'd laugh him.
I need
like,
someone Jude's a fucking Champions League winner, yeah? He's serious. He's not going to fucking have it.
No.
Mate, at least Pickford shouts people. I know he gets a fucking little bit over the top, and anytime anyone has to do a bit of defending, he's like, he has to do his job. He's fucking fuming. But at least he gets on at someone.
Yeah.
I just don't see John Stones shouting at people. I don't see even Declan Rice shouting at people.
The Harry Kane, Saka.
The spine is weak.
Yeah, I don't know.
We need some fucking veteran.
They're all
there.
too pally-pally. So what we've done under Southgate, compared to like the golden generation where we were like Sven and Capello, where everyone hated each other, but they all wanted to give each other stick. We've lost that. Now everyone's friends again, but no one wants to give each other stick.
Yeah.
So we kind of need to get in that middle where, yes, they're friends. They're not fucking sleeping with each other's wives and stuff, but they do want to beef each other.
Maybe that's what they need to do, is threaten to shag each other's wives if they make a mistake.
Carl Walker's there. He's that guy.
He's dangerous.
So, I don't know. Let us know in the comments down below your score predictions, how you change this England team to get some positive results, because they've been stinky.
What's the score prediction?
Well, I said in the Denmark game, I was like, they can't be bad again. They're going to have to do it. But I think Slovenia, a bit more open, 4-4-2. I think England will make the changes. Not that many, but will make some changes. I'm going 3-0 England.
I'm going 5-0.
Oh, we're going to be back next week. Like,
six.
I'm going to bring it
I
home.
was sensible. I didn't go for 6.
All right, 5-0, 3-0. Let us know. Hope you enjoyed. Knockout stages soon come. More videos.
It is what it is. Southgate, please bring it home.
Or get out, mate.